In the quiet embrace of the night, as the stars softly shimmer above, allow yourself to drift gently into a world of dreams. Let each breath you take guide you deeper into relaxation. And with each exhale, release the tensions of the day. So imagine yourself settling into a cozy, comfortable space where stories unfold like whispers carried on a gentle breeze. James was a young boy with eyes that sparkled like morning dew, living in a small town nestled between rolling hills and a meandering river. His days were filled with the simple joys of childhood, chasing butterflies, skipping stones, and lying in fields of tall grass, watching clouds drift lazily across the sky. One evening, as the sun cast golden hues over the landscape, James sat with his grandmother on the porch swing. The rhythmic creaking of the swing matched the soothing cadence of her voice as she told tales of distant lands and ancient wisdom. "Grandma?" James asked softly, his gaze fixed on the horizon where the sun kissed the earth. What happens when we die?" She smiled gently, her eyes reflecting the warmth of the setting sun. "Well, my dear, some believe that life doesn't simply end. It's part of a great cycle, like the seasons turning or the river flowing endlessly into the sea." James tilted his head, pondering her words. A cycle?" "Yes," she replied, her voice as soft as a lullaby. "It's called Samsara, the wheel of life. It's the journey of the soul through birth, life, death, and rebirth. Each life is a chance to learn, to grow, and to become better than we were before." The concept intrigued James, wrapping around his young mind like a comforting blanket. As the first stars appeared in the twilight sky, he felt a sense of wonder and peace wash over him. Years passed, and James grew into a thoughtful teenager. One autumn afternoon, he found himself in the school's library, a sanctuary of silence and, of course, stories. He stumbled upon a book about world philosophies and religions, its pages filled with tales of gods, goddesses, and the mysteries of existence. His philosophy teacher, Mr. Thompson, noticed James' fascination. Approaching quietly, he asked, "What captures your interest, James?" James looked up, his eyes reflecting the golden light filtering through the window. "I'm reading about Samsara and reincarnation," it's so vast and very mysterious. Mr. Thompson nodded thoughtfully. Samsara is a profound concept. It teaches that life is a continuous journey, a cycle of birth and rebirth. Our actions, thoughts, and intentions, collectively known as karma, influence our journey. James pondered this. So, everything we do matters? It all comes back around? Precisely, Mr. Thompson replied, with a gentle smile. It's like planting seeds. The kindness we sow grows into happiness, while negative actions can lead to challenges ahead. Understanding this can guide us to live more mindfully. The conversation left a lasting impression on James. That night, as he lay in his bed listening to the soft rustle of leaves outside, he contemplated the idea that life was interconnected in ways he was just beginning to understand. After college, James embarked on a journey across distant lands. He sought to experience the world beyond the borders of his familiar town. In a village, at the foothills of a mist-covered mountain, he met an old man named Ravi, a teacher with stories etched into the lines of his face. They sat by a tranquil lake, its surface mirroring the stars above. Ravi shared tales of his own life's journey, each story a thread woven into the tapestry of his existence. Life is like this lake, Ravi mused, his voice a gentle ripple in the night. Every action we take is a stone cast into the water, creating ripples that extend far beyond what we can see. James listened intently, the cool night air wrapping around them like a soothing embrace. "I've heard of Samsara," he said softly. "That life is a cycle, and our actions shape our journey." Ravi nodded slowly. "Yes, Samsara teaches us that we are both the creators and the beneficiaries. Understanding this empowers us to live with compassion and purpose." They sat in comfortable silence, the only sounds being the soft lapping of water and the distant call of a night bird. James felt a deep sense of connection, not just to Ravi, but to the world around him and the unseen threads that bind all of existence. Upon returning home, James met Emily, a woman whose laughter was as infectious as the spring blooms. They fell into a love as natural as the changing seasons, their lives intertwining like vines reaching toward the sun. One evening, as they walked along the riverbank under a canopy of twinkling stars, James shared his thoughts about Samsara. Sometimes I feel like we've known each other before. In another life, perhaps? Emily smiled, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. Maybe we have. Or maybe our souls recognize something familiar. A connection that transcends time. They paused to sit on a small boulder, the river's gentle murmur providing a soothing backdrop. Do you ever think about the impact we have on others? James asked. All the time, Emily replied softly. Every smile, every act of kindness, it all matters. We're all connected in this vast tapestry of life. Their hands entwined, they sat in a sense of silence, the world around them fading into the background as they reveled in the simple joy of being together. Years flowed like a quiet stream, and James became a teacher, hoping to inspire others as he had been inspired before. One of his colleagues, Professor Allen, a wise woman with a calm presence that filled any room. Over tea, in the quiet hours of the afternoon, they often discussed philosophy and the deeper questions of life. I've been reflecting on Samsara, James confessed one day. I want to live in a way that honors this cycle. But sometimes, the world just feels so chaotic. Professor Allen sipped her tea thoughtfully. Chaos and harmony are two sides of the same coin, she replied. Samsara isn't about perfection. It's about growth. Each experience, pleasant or challenging, offers us a lesson. James nodded slowly. So, embracing the journey, with all its ups and downs, is part of it? Exactly, she smiled. By living mindfully and compassionately, we contribute positively to our own journey and the world around us. Her words settled over James like a comforting blanket, reassuring and warm. He felt a renewed sense of purpose, a quiet determination to live with intention. James and Emily married under a canopy of autumn leaves, their vows whispered amid the gentle rustling of the trees. They built a life filled with love, laughter, and the pitter-patter of little feet as their children, Lily and Michael, came into the world. As a father, James found joy in the simplest of moments. Bedtime stories, walks in the park, and the endless questions that only children could conjure. One night, as he tucked them into bed, Lily asked with wide, curious eyes, "Daddy, what happens when people go away?" James sat on the edge of the bed, his voice soft and soothing. "Well, sweetheart, some believe that we are part of a great cycle called Samsara. It means that when our time here ends, our soul begins a new journey, like how the seasons change, or how day turns into night. Michael propped himself up on his elbows. So, we come back again? Yes, James smiled. In a way we do. And each life gives us a chance to learn and to love even more. The children seemed content with this, their eyes growing heavy with sleep. James kissed their foreheads, a tender gesture filled with love deeper than words could express. As time flowed gently onward, James found himself entering the latter seasons of his life. His hair, once dark and thick, now bore the silver threads of wisdom. He often sat by the same river where he had once walked with Emily, who had passed on a few years prior, her memory a cherished melody in his heart. One afternoon, Lily, now a grown woman, with her mother's sparkling eyes, joined him by the river. "Dad," she began softly, "I've been thinking a lot about the things you taught me when we were kids." James turned to her, his gaze very tender. "Oh? What about, my dear?" "Samsara, karma, all of it," she replied. "It's comforting, thinking that life is a continuous journey." He smiled gently. "It is, isn't it? Understanding that we're part of something larger than ourselves can always bring peace." They sat together, the quiet sounds of nature enveloping them. Lily rested her head on his shoulder, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. As the years softly unfolded, James's health began to wane. Surrounded by the warmth of his home and the love of his family, he found himself reflecting on the tapestry of his own life. One evening, lying in the gentle glow of the fading sunlight, he called his children to his side. "There's something I'd like to share with you," he whispered, his voice as soft as a sigh. Michael and Lily sat close, their eyes filled with concern and love. We're here, Dad," Michael said quietly. James took a slow, deep breath. Life is a beautiful journey, an endless cycle of beginnings and endings, he began. Samsara teaches us that every moment is an opportunity to love, to learn, and to grow. He paused, the soft rhythm of his breathing, the only sound left in the room. "I've lived a life filled with joy because of you both. Remember that your actions, your kindness, and your love ripple out into the world in ways you may never see. We promise to carry your lessons with us, Dad." A peaceful smile spread across James's face. good," he whispered. "Then I know I've fulfilled my purpose." In the quiet hours of the night, as a soft rain pattered against the windows, James closed his eyes for the final time. His breath slowed, each inhale and exhale a gentle wave ebbing towards the shore. His children sat beside him, their presence a comforting balm. "We love you, Dad," Michael whispered. A serene expression settled over James's face, and with one last peaceful sigh, he slipped away like a whisper on the wind. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Lily and Michael often found themselves reminiscing about their father, his wisdom echoing in their hearts. One sunny afternoon, they returned to the riverbank where James loved to sit. The water flowed steadily, a mirror of life's continuous journey. "Do you think he's begun a new journey?" Michael asked softly. Lily smiled gently. "I like to believe so. His spirit lives on, in us, in the lives he touched, and perhaps in new beginnings we can't even imagine." They sat in peaceful silence, the gentle murmur of the river soothing their souls. A butterfly fluttered by, its delicate wings catching the sunlight. "Look," Lily whispered, "a symbol of transformation." Michael nodded, a calm warmth spreading within him. Dad would have loved that. Years later, Lily found herself sharing her father's stories with her own children. Under the shade of a wise old oak tree, she spoke of Samsara, of life as a beautiful, endless cycle. Grandpa believed that we're all connected, she told them, her voice soft and melodic. That our actions matter, and that love is the most powerful force in the universe. The children listened with their eyes wide, their imaginations weaving the tales into dreams. As they drifted into a gentle slumber, Lily felt a deep peace settle over her. Looking up at the sky, stars beginning to twinkle like distant lanterns, she whispered, "Thank you, Dad. Your journey continues." And as the story gently comes to a close, allow the soothing words to wrap around you like a soft blanket. Feel the calmness settling in, each breath drawing you deeper into a restful sleep. The tale of James and his journey through life, love, and understanding of Samsara is a reminder of the endless cycles we are all a part of. So let your mind drift peacefully, embracing the serenity of the night. Know that you're connected to the vast tapestry of existence, each moment a thread woven into the grand design. Good night and namaste.